All right, so we have the updates for the global Dokkan coin shenanigans that happened. I woke up not so long ago and I saw that this was already out, and I think there could be an interesting discussion about this. Actually, I've seen some comments from members of the community, and some people are actually upset about this situation, and I think it's very fair to be upset about what happened. And if you're not aware about what I'm talking about, essentially on the 18th from 8 a.m. Pacific time to 10:30 p.m. Pacific time, the Carnival coin and Dokkan Festival coins that were used to pick up the character for free, if you had enough of course, were automatically converted back to just the normal Dokkan Festival coin and the normal Carnival coin. Now, to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here, it is the difference between the pity versions of the coins and then the normal variants, which I don't see the normal variants here anymore. But essentially, you would be able to pick up any of the global Dokkan campaign LRs if you had 500 of them. And a lot of people do hold on to their coins until the very end of a celebration just to make sure, hey, okay, all my summons are officially finished. There's usually a time frame after the banner leaves for you to go ahead and actually pick up the character with coins. I mean, we can take a look here. This Gohan pity exchange end on the 3rd of September, even though we know that the banner itself leaves on what, like the 25th. So there's always it's about like a week time frame more or less for you to pick up those characters from the shop. So people a lot of times wait for that to happen, or some people just didn't really get the opportunity to exchange it as they haven't made their decision yet. Either way, what happened is if you went into the Baba shop during that time, those coins were converted to the normal ones, which means that you would not be able to buy any of those characters if you had enough coins. That, of course, is a pretty big issue, and they're trying to look into to see what they could do, and they brought out this announcement here. So this notice is in regards to our response to the issue at hand, and the applicable users to this issue are players who logged in during the time frame specified that the issue was occurring to the Baba shop and had their coins automatically converted, or users who did not go to the Baba shop and did not have the coins automatically converted between that time frame. So users falling under fixed content, the automatically confirmed. So this is basically, I should read that better. The measures that are being taken are users falling under either action 1 or users falling under action 2. If you're under the first section, fixed content, the automatically converted Festival Coin Global and Carnival Coin Global will be sent to the affected users. So essentially, if you did have your coins converted, no worries, you're going to be able to essentially keep those coins that were converted and then get the Festival Coin and Carnival Coin Global to your box, is what I assume will happen, and then you'd be able to still pick up those characters. So you essentially will theoretically get double the amount of coins, so that's good. Then this is going to be during the maintenance today, so keep that in mind. There will be a maintenance today for whatever upcoming content is coming. I mean, we could talk about this at the end of the video as well. Then users falling under issue 2, and see, this is where people are having debates about this. Actually, issue 1 is the people that are directly affected by the issue, and that's fair. Issue 2, though, the situation about this is these are people who weren't affected because they did not go to the Baba shop. But let's continue reading here. As an apology for this issue, the amount of Dokkan Festival Coin and Carnival Coin based on the amount of Dokkan Festival Coin Global and Carnival Coin Global owned by the user at 8:18 at 7 a.m. Pacific time will be sent to the affected user. Please note that the coins not claimed from your gift box will not be counted. So if you had any of the coins sitting in your gift box, doesn't count. And this is only for players who didn't go into the shop during that time specifically. They implemented as soon as the preparation is complete, or to even further clarify, for people who did not exchange their coins and then did not go into the shop during that time. That's really important. implemented as soon as the preparation is complete. In addition, the availability period of the section of the following items in the Baba shop will be extended to the 28th to make up for the lost time. Previously, this was going to end on, I think, the 25th, so they extended it by 3 days, which makes sense. And then these are the coins right here. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused. And that's the situation at hand. Basically, players who were affected in the kind of time frame here, as long as they didn't exchange their carnival coins prior in this time frame, do get double coins. And that's where some people have an issue. So again, I asked thoughts on the compensation announced by Dokkan. I've seen some tweets of people why, and I've actually seen, like, I read one reply and I do get why the upset is there, but let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the replies here. 25 bad wire, only certain people that were unaffected by the glitch getting comp. It should be either only those affected or everyone. So again, the thing here is that these people were not affected by the issue but got compensation. And I think the reason why for that is because of the fact that, okay, let's say if you held onto your coins and then you didn't go into the Baba shop, you're essentially missing out on the double coins, quote unquote, issue, which would be viewed as keeping things fair by, okay, you could still get compensation, but at the same time, it is true that those people were not affected by the issue. So if they were, since they're not actually affected by the issue, why are they getting compensation, but then no one else is getting compensation? I think that is a fair way to look at it. So I don't necessarily blame, you know, kind of that viewpoint in specific. I would say I do agree with that, because I only personally think that people who were affected directly should get compensation. I mean, at the worst case scenario, it's either should be people who are directly affected or everyone who was affected. Now, again, the thing is, I kind of also see why they're doing this, in the sense that, again, people didn't go into the Baba shop to be wary of kind of not having their coins automatically exchanged. And this was for people who were essentially potentially unintentionally aware of the issue, in a sense. But then at the same time, you know, there's going to be some users who go into the Baba shop during this time frame because they knew they would get compensated. Whilst, you know, people who kind of knew beforehand, where it's like, you know, kind of sucks if you exchange your coins before this case, and it's like, oh, I exchanged my coins the day before and now I'm missing all the double coins, you know. I'm fine with it. Anyone with the GDC points at that point should get them doubled. The only people who have a problem are mad they exchanged them manually while Timmy-chan was asleep on the other side of the world. I mean, I would also say yeah, because at the end of the day, nothing changes for you by having your coins exchanged the previous day, right? Like, some people were holding on to these, and, you know, realistically, they could have been affected by the issue as well. Like, if you exchange your coins like earlier in the day, I feel like that there's one thing I do want to mention, I guess, but that is like kind of like, you know, I'm kind of just like worry about this, but again, I do understand why. Dokkan is compensating everyone who had the coins converted, and they're giving it back with 0 drawbacks, 10 out of 10 response. The problem is that people who never had any coins when the bug happened and never opened the Baba shop. Wait, the problem is that, okay, let me read this. Dokkan is compensating everyone who had the coins converted and giving it back with 0 drawbacks. Yeah. The problem is that people who even had any coins when the bug happened and never opened the Baba shop, so they're not affected, are getting compensation, and their coins doubled despite them not being affected in any way, shape, or form. Dokkan is snapshotting how many coins they had at 5 p.m. They should snapshot how many coins you had at 10 a.m. in the morning, which is when the banners left. And this is kind of the point I was kind of alluding to earlier. So again, right here, I know Annie says 5 p.m. That's in Annie's time zone. This would be 7 a.m. for the Pacific time zone here, or at least PST, not anyways, time zones are weird. Let me bring up this banner. Can we see the end date here? I don't think we can, but maybe in the global token info. Essentially, the stone versions of these banners from what Annie is stating it did leave earlier than the actual exchange rate thing happened. So if we take a look here, this banner lasted all the way until 1 a.m. Pacific time, which again was a couple of hours before the exchange happened. So there is a time frame where the banners left, people exchanged their coins, and then this happened automatically as well. But then people who basically didn't exchange their coins are getting compensation, whilst people who did exchange their coins are not getting compensation, right? Because I think the biggest issue is that obviously, you know, those who are automatically converted, but number two did not get affected by the issue, and then the other people after the banners left technically did not get affected by the issue. But in that situation, you know, it's like, okay, well, then how are they gonna really compensate everyone? I would say, I'm not sure. This is like kind of tough a little. Basically, we sat and didn't do anything. You got compensated for user coins after the stone banner left, aka you couldn't get any more coins, at zero reason to hold them. You're getting nothing. It just rewards laziness. I mean, if you're not affected by the bug, which is the second group of the people, you shouldn't get anything point blank. Compensating people unaffected, but only specific people seems like a gigantic FU. Either compensate all the affected people or unaffected people or none of them. And it should just be the latter. Dokkan has zero reason to give anything to anyone that wasn't affected by the issue. I mean, sure. I like, okay. I wouldn't say it's like a laziness thing, because there's all kinds of like different time zones and stuff, and you know, people could be busy and things like that. I do agree that's like, I don't know why they would only compensate. At the end of the day, I do think that there's not really a reason for them to compensate the second group of people, besides the fact that they would be like, oh man, I wish I did go into the Baba shop. But then it's the point where you can make, oh man, I wish I saved my coins for this issue. Like, I don't know. It feels kind of like strange in that way, right? Because at the end of the day, it's people unaffected who'd be like, "Man, I wish I did this instead." When the real issue should be the people who are affected. So why would they compensate certain people that weren't affected, right? I see the point there, and it doesn't really make sense to me either. I think that at the end of the day, though, it's like these people who weren't affected are getting something extra. And theoretically, like in terms of like overall, it's better that they got something rather than them getting nothing as well. But it does kind of feel weird for other people who weren't affected, right? I don't know. You don't really care, but it's a little silly. People not affected get compensated, and arguably the biggest reward. I mean, I guess because it's the same reward as the people who were affected, right? Compensation, people that didn't enter the Baba shop during the period, so nothing was converted. People that got their coins automatically converted when entering the Baba shop. No compensation. People that exchanged their coins for any reason not affected. Yeah, again, I don't get why people who didn't get affected are getting comp. I spent 2,450 coins, or 50 stones, sorry. 0 copies of the 2 units went for exchange coins at the banners left because there was no reason to hold on to them. But now because of this, I'm being punished for being normal with how I manage stones. And yeah, again, people would feel kind of, I wouldn't say you should feel punished, because realistically nothing actually changes, but it's the fact that the people who, again, I said this again, weren't affected, you know, are getting comp, while some people who also weren't affected. It's weird. You think the part of the negativity is stemming from a misconception going around that people didn't get auto converted that night getting double GVC coins, but that's not the case. They're getting them as regular coins. Well, yeah, because the thing is, again, we read the second one, they're gonna just be getting normal coins, right? It's the same as the first coin. So I don't know if there was actually a misconception going around about this. You can, however, understand that outright only select type of unaffected players are getting compensated. People who already manually converted their coins or pity units prior, officially getting screwed out of a ton of free coins as a result. Yeah. Affected players getting GDC coins rolled back while keeping the standard coins good. Unaffected players getting a matching set of standard coins great for those benefiting. Leaves other kind of players reasonably upset that they get nothing. And I would say, especially for players who use their coins during that period where the banner ended and before it was automatically exchanged, but then players who waited a little longer will get compensated even though both players were unaffected by the issue. I feel like they probably should have matched the end time with the banner end date rather than when the actual issue happened. At that point, if they're going to compensate people who weren't affected, I think that would just make more sense to me. But my hands are in the air. I mean, it did annoy you when it happened. You don't think it's fair for people who converted them, or, you know, realistically, they shouldn't be compensating people who didn't enter the Baba shop at all, right? But people who kept their, yeah, again, a lot of people are kind of agreeing with a lot of this here. Yeah, exactly. Someone changed their coins for regular carnivals to get Angel Super Saiyan 4 Goku because you knew you would get pity. Not if I saved, you could get someone. Well, actually, you theoretically wouldn't, because if you saved, you would only be getting the normal coins anyways. You wouldn't be getting extra pity coins because you only get the pity coins if those coins were changed to normal coins. Then you keep those extra coins, but then you get those pity coins back. And then vice versa. If you didn't enter the shop, you are only getting normal coins back. I see, you know, that's what Taco Goober, I think, was talking about earlier about the misconception. It's because those losers use up all their coins. I mean, I wonder, can I bring it up? And then right here, at least my game, because I actually, no, never mind, they haven't compensated yet. So I was gonna be like, I had like 3 coins in there that got turned into it. So that feeling when you're not inconvenienced or entitled to compensation, I would say this would be a good mindset to have. Obviously, you know, you weren't affected. Why would you get compensated in the first place? I think that people who are feeling upset that, you know, they're not part of the group that were infected but are getting compensated, I think that's fair. But also, if it was me, I'd be like, well, it sucks, but I'm not like, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place anyway, so nothing really actually changes for me. And I'm like, it's maybe this is me, where I'd be like, oh, it's good, you know, people who weren't affected, at least some people are getting something extra. And for me, nothing actually changes. But I mean, again, some people are still getting essentially double the coins. I'm someone who has basically almost every unit in the game. If you're someone who would really like to get like another, even like AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku copy, or maybe you used your coins in AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but you're deciding between him and another character in the shop, and now it's like, oh, in that period, now I actually would have been able to get an extra character. Or you're like, okay, I'm gonna use these pity coins to get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta after the banners leave. And then now it's a thing of, oh, wait, this sucks because now I could have waited a little longer, got Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, I would have gone in not expecting anything in the first place. So nothing should technically change for you. There's like 2 ways to kind of look at it, but yeah. Group 2 ended up, this will be the last one I read right here, so I just clicked on it. Honestly, I just the one kind of popped out to me. Group 2 probably ended up being in a loophole in gacha laws or something. They're in the same boat because both group had coins at the time of the glitch. They're probably forced to give group 2 coins because group 1 got extra base teal coins too. Wouldn't have got one for the company. I mean, 2 groups in the same situation. Well, it's not the same situation because they weren't affected by the issue. Because again, at this point, it's like, again, it's a thing of group 2 didn't go into the Baba shop either to not get affected by the issue or to move around it. And maybe it's because, oh, they weren't able to act like some, maybe thinking of like the players who weren't able to access the Baba shop, and that thus leads them to technically being affected by the issue since they couldn't use the Baba shop. And in that case, I'm like, that's fair. Because in a sense, they are affected by not being able to go into the Baba shop. So that is probably their mindset with that. I just think that at the end of the day, even though it's more so that they could have been affected by the actual issue, but they weren't. So anyways, let me know what y'all are thinking. I think that no matter what, the actual compensation itself to players who were affected is very fair, very good. Is a very good response. Still can handle this very well. I am very happy with the answer here. I personally am not affected by this, so I kind of like for me personally, I don't care. But I could understand, you know, based on the responses, why people would be upset, in the sense that, you know, again, we talked about it. I don't feel like repeating myself for the 6th time. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and take care.